everybody. It's Karen Bentley here. Thanks so much for finding your way to my channel. I'm really grateful to have this time to spend with you. This is the place where we discuss all alternatives to recovery, and sometimes I talk about the Warrior's Way of Recovery, which is a really revolutionary program that I created. But today we're going to be talking about Russell Brand and his path to recovery based on this book that he wrote, Recovery, Freedom from Our Addictions. So first I'm going to talk a little bit about the book, then a little bit about Brand, and then my reaction to it and give you my opinion. So first about the book, it was first published in 2017 as a hardcover. It went right away, immediately to the New York Times bestseller list. It became a paperback in 2018, and again went to the bestseller list on Amazon. Even today, 5 years later, I'm publishing this video in May of 2023. It is number 5,133 of all books sold on Amazon. That's really quite a stellar, stunning, high-performing statistic. Even in substance abuse recovery books, it's number 21. Another stellar, stunning performance statistic. After 5 years, this book is still going strong. The book is 274 pages long. You can buy it for $12.34, brandy new with this lovely turquoise cover at Amazon, or you can get it from resellers for about $6. I mean, you can't go wrong. It's hard to find anything of value for $6 these days, but this is of value and you'll get something from it. It's organized, the book is organized by the 12 steps. This book is about Brand's experience, his personal interpretation and experience and mentoring advice of the 12 steps. So if you're curious about the 12 steps, if you're just starting on the 12 steps, if you'd like to know Brand's take on it, if you wish someone like Brand could be your sponsor, this is a great introduction to that culture and that skill building and that programming. So that's pretty much what the book is about. Did I tell you it's 274 pages long? About Brand, he was born in 1975 in England. He quit, he became sober from all his addictions in December 13th, 2002. So he's been straight for about 21 years now, and he claims to have been addicted to many substances, but his big four were sex, alcohol, heroin, food. He has a YouTube channel with 6.43 million subscribers. He's a comedian, an actor, an author. Other than this book and an occasional video that I have watched of Brand, I'm really not familiar with his work. I've never seen him do a comedic shtick. I didn't really know what he was about, which is why it may have taken me a while to get into this book. The book is rated 4.7 stars out of 5 on Amazon. Another stellar, stunning, high-performing statistic. If I was giving it a rating myself, I would give it a solid 4.5. And why is one reason is what I just mentioned to you, that it took me a while to get into it. I didn't love Russell Brand until the 4th chapter and really get what he was trying to convey. And by the end of the book, I was absolutely madly obsessed with him. But it took me a while to warm up. So for that reason, and also because he introduces himself as a comedian and an addict, and so I was expecting him to layer the book with some of his humor, you know, to have a lighthearted or at least a light touch vibe. And, you know, other than his reinventing of the 12-step titles with some clever fuckery, which I'll share with you in a moment, other than that, this is not a funny book. I didn't really chuckle through it. And so that's just one of my little picky things, because he was a comedian, I was expecting it to be funny. And I'm sure that's an unrealistic expectation to put on Brand. But those are my two big chills on the book. And they're really inconsequential because the book has great value and great inspiration. And if you're looking for inspiration and if you're looking for a how-to, this could be a great book for you. So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is share to you Brand's rewriting of the 12 steps with his clever titling. And then I'm going to read some direct quotes from the book because there's nothing like his words to your ears to let you know what this book is about. And so you can make an objective decision whether a purchase of $12.39 is worth your money or time. So here we go with his retitling. Let me just read it to you. It's very cute. Okay, step 1, are you a bit fucked? Step 2, could you not be fucked? Step 3, are you on your own going to unfuck yourself? Step 4, write down all the things that are fucking you up or have ever fucked you up and don't lie or leave anything out. Step 5, honestly tell someone trustworthy how fucked you are. Step 6, well, that's revealed a lot of fucked up patterns. Do you want to stop it? Seriously. Step 7, are you willing to live in a new way that's not all about you and your previous fucked up stuff? You have to. Step 8, prepare to apologize to everyone for everything affected by your being so fucked up. Step 9, now apologize unless that would make things worse. Step 10, watch out for fucked up thinking and behavior and be honest when it happens. Step 11, stay connected to your new perspective. Step 12, look at life less selfishly. Be nice to everyone. Help people if you can. So that's Brand's clever retitling. Now I'm going to give you his first bit of advice. I've marked this book with all these tabs, but they're not as easy to get to as I thought they would be. But here we go. Okay. Here's his first bit of advice to you. If you're not going to do the things suggested in the book, you may as well spend the money on cake or blow it down the track. And I'm just going to follow chronologically with what he has to say so that you can see what you think. The unmanageability at its heart means that there is a beast in me. It is in me still. With food, I am powerless over food. If I start eating chocolate, I don't know when I'll stop. With sex, if I make sex the panacea, the solve to this pain we discussed earlier, I will soon lose control of my sexual conduct and I'll end up in more pain. It is by admitting that we have no power that we can begin the process of accessing all the power we ever need. So you can see that even though Brand talks about himself as an iconoclast, a maverick, somebody who breaks the rules, who thinks independently, he's really quite a disciple in this book of the 12-step ideology and 12-step programming. So, don't expect revolutionary insights into the 12-steppage thinking because you're not going to get that from him, but you'll get plenty of other things. And then here, this is exactly the point where I fell in love with Russell Brand when he said this. This is step 4. It's on page 63. That's how long it took me to fall in love with him. The real title for step 4 is We Made a Searching and Fearless Moral Inventory of Ourselves. All right, here is what he has to say about that. I avoided step 4 like I owed it money. Fuck that. Fuck it on so many levels. Most obviously, I just cannot be bothered to sit and write out in a stringent and formalized fashion every single bloody thing I can remember that has caused me to be disturbed, to have an emotion, energy in motion, a twitch, a glitch, a mental emotional spasm. If you want me to actually quantify it time-wise, it took me 5 years and 2 steps to do step 4, 5 years to not do it, and 2 days to do it. That's it, 2 days. I love that. I love that he said that. And then he says, all right, the program is a map out of madness for anyone who wants to follow it. To see the pattern of repeated behaviors that dominated my life was an enlightening. I began to see how I already lived by a program. A repeated pattern is a program. When I saw written out in my own hand the codes and patterns that had led me into continual conflict and confusion, I was astonished that it could be understood so formulaically. It was a great revelation to learn that my problem was not alcohol, heroin, crack, bulimia, or sex, but a twisted system of beliefs brought on by trauma and shame that became the basis of my unconscious programming for living. And then he says, step 8 is where we stop justifying our story. We stop clinging to the past. We recognize that if we want to go forward, we will need to change. And now he's talking about apologizing, and he says about that, some people don't want any further contact with me, which I have to accept as a consequence of my behavior. Some people, and this is common, were embarrassed by the process, but still grateful. This step is about making ourselves right with the world. So many of us are encumbered with fear and shame. These feelings are affirmed if we can't go out into the world without running into wounded people who understandably regard us unfavorably. You accept you want to change. You believe change is possible. You become willing to receive input from new sources, possibly the group, possibly a mentor, possibly a higher power, ideally all 3. And then you examine where you've been going wrong, share it, and commit to new attitudes. Just 3 more passages I want to share with you. Hard recovery means no more bullshit, no more little kicks and fixes, nothing that can take you away from the connection, the truth, the purpose, the oneness, the moment. I use this program every day. It is my inner referent and my sanctuary, my guide, the point to which I return whenever I am in doubt. And the last thing he has to say is just, this is absolutely my most favorite part of the whole book, this last chapter. Prayer is, for me, a setting of intention, praying only for God's will for us and the power to carry out. The power to carry it out. This, I feel, is to guard against the temptation to regard your higher power as a cosmic Father Christmas. You know, a Santa Claus in the sky. I want this, I want that, I want everything. Gimme, gimme, gimme. So that's what he's guarding against there, and I love that. This is how I pray, and he openly shares it. I sit quietly for a moment. I read a few short passages from whatever spiritual book I'm into at the time. I silently pray firstly for gratitude. I actually light 4 candles, one representing my personal connection to a higher consciousness as experienced through meditation and dreams, one for my connection to my girlfriend, one for my connection to my work, may it be inspired by high motivation, and one for a true connection to all people I encounter. I pray for courage, a willingness to no longer inhabit my old ways of thinking, not to see the world as a resource for my pleasure, but instead the environment in which I can be of use. And the thing that I most admire and like about this book is that Brand answers his own prayer. He is of use. He does come at it from a higher level. He is helpful. And if you're searching for a way and you're wondering what it's like for a celebrity and for a young man who's, he's very hip, he's very happening individual. He says what he thinks. This could be helpful to you. And I really ended up liking it quite a bit. I'm glad I didn't stop reading it. I'm glad I forced myself to read it for you because I got so enriched from it and so inspired by it myself. So I highly recommend Recovery Freedom from Our Addictions by Russell Brand. Again, you can get it at Amazon for $12.39 or from a reseller for about $6. You can check out Russell Brand on YouTube. He also has a coaching program. It's not on Skillshare, but something like Skillshare. I think it's about for $150. You could learn about this through that. But in any case, it's worth your time and your very small investment. So hope you enjoyed this. Hey, if you liked it, smash that like button. You know the YouTube algos. It's going to help me a lot. If you really liked it, subscribe. Come back. I do my best to put out a video every week. I do try to talk about the Warrior's Way of Recovery, which is a revolutionary program that you will not, I promise you, you will not hear it anywhere else. And bye for now. Come back.